Oh, good morning. Good morning. Hey, Jesus is Lord all day, so that makes it good. And the word works today. I'm blessed. Told you that story the other day about how that guy said, Frank, you're supposed to say I'm blessed, and I did. Because thou art snared by the words of your mouth. I was in a store yesterday, and guy walked up and he said, Buenos dias, obviously, from another country. I said, Buenos dias, amigo. He said in English, how are you? And I said, bien decido, I'm blessed. He looked at me, you're what? Blessed. He said, never heard of that. Well, I'm blessed. You see, you are taken by your words. So you might be in a situation like I was and think, I'm not blessed. Dear God, if anybody's not blessed, it's me. I'm not blessed. Well, don't say that. The Bible says, let the weak say, I am strong. Now, I've had to do that a lot. Let the weak say, I'm strong. Let the poor say, I'm rich. Let the sick say, I am healed or I am well. You have what you say. Now, today, I want to go over to Mark chapter 11, where Jesus explains to the disciples what faith is and how it's released. In Mark chapter 11, they were going out to another town. They came up on the fig tree, and Jesus answered and said, You see, he answered that thing that couldn't talk, that tree that had no fruit. And he saw that, so he answered that. You're going to have to answer the negative circumstances. And he answered it and said, watch, said unto it. And this is what Jesus said. No man eat fruit of thee hereafter forever. And then there's a little phrase here right at the end that a lot of people miss. It says, and his disciples heard it. Now watch, you got to do this. That simply explains to us that Jesus said it out loud. He spoke the desired of his heart. He spoke it out loud to a tree without ears, a pickup truck without ears, a checking account without ears, a body, that can hear, but he spoke out loud to it because he spoke the desired end results out loud, and the disciples heard it. Now, let's read on. There's a lot that goes on in here, but we're just going to skip down to where, Jesus gets back to this part of business. So in the morning, when they were going out in the morning as they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the roots. Which fig tree? The one that Jesus had cursed the day before and said, no man eat fruit of thee hereafter forever. And so in less than 24 hours, that thing's dried up. His words came to pass right then. Now watch. And Peter calling to remembrance saith, Lord, that fig tree which you talked to yesterday, the fig tree that which you cursed or you talked to or you said to, it's withered away. Now, Jesus is going to give us a big explanation here, and that's what I want to deal with today. Then Jesus, answering and said, no different than before, no louder than before, and said, have faith in God. Or many other translations put it this way, have the God kind of faith. I like to say it this way, you have the God kind of faith, you just got to use it. So he said, have faith in God, reading from the King James Version, for verily I say unto you, watch, I say, for verily I say unto you, that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith. Saith, saith, saith. 3 times he says you got to say it. One time, you got to believe it. And one time, you shouldn't doubt it. You see, the power is in what you say, not what you believe. Oh, somebody says, well, I believe like you do, but then they won't talk to their body. I have to talk to mine a little more regularly now. Somebody said, well, I wouldn't drink no coffee late in the afternoon. Well, watch me. I'll drink it. It don't bother me at all. Because I say coffee don't bother me. Me and my fishing buddy, Harold Bean. Well, sometimes we go fishing. Man, there's a bright full moon. Well, they say that a full moon causes fish not to bite. Well, I say fish come to me when there's a full moon. And I change what they say by what I say. So Jesus said this. I want you to get it. For verily I say unto you that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea. Why did he pick a mountain? Well, it could be a mountain of debt. It could be a mountain of disease. I mean, you may have been sick for the last 10 years and the doctors tell you there's no cure. Well, start speaking to it. Say it, say it, say it. Healed by the stripes of Jesus. Or you may have, some situations where it looks like your husband or wife don't love you. Pat and I went out on a date last night. We do that a lot. And in fact, we had 2 dates yesterday. I took her out to breakfast. We had one of our great-grandchildren here, Harper, which is a year old. And we took her to breakfast, and we did pretty good with it. But we held hands and smiled at each other and winked. And I'll bet you 5 or 6 times before I got to the restaurant, I said, Baby, I love you. And I'd say, and I'll tell you something else, baby, you love me. And then we went out on a date last night, and I said, we don't have any kids today. It's just me and you. Let's go on a date. We're sitting there, and Pat started telling me some story, and I'm sitting there. She gets there. I said, we are on a date. We're not talking about the children, the grandchildren, the great-grandchildren. We are on a date, just me and you. And reached over and got her hand, held her, smiled, and said, because I love you. And she says, and I love you. And then we got started on talking about how much we loved each other, and we had one really wild romantic night because we began to say it. I would never say, my wife doesn't seem to love me anymore. I'd never say that. I tell her every day, you love me. And she does. Well, here's the point. Jesus said you cast it into the sea. The mountain went into the sea so you couldn't see it. So you talk to your problem and you tell it to be cast into the sea. It'll go so far away that you won't even be able to see it again. It'll be like, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. It's gone. Well, here, listen. Speak to your problem. Speak to your lack. Speak to your body. Jesus was telling you, whosoever shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed and be thou cast thee, and not shall doubt in his heart, but believe that those things which he saith in the King James, shall come to pass. He'll have whatsoever he saith. You are going to have what you say, and if you don't believe it, you're still going to have somebody say, well, I don't believe that saying stuff. Hey, you're getting it. You're not believing it because you just said it. I got to go, saints. Have a great day. Say it, say it, say it. Speak to it, speak to it, speak to it. You're snared by your words. You're taken by your words, so start talking what the Word says, like Jesus did, rather than the circumstances. So, hey, until I'm with you tomorrow, remember all day, Jesus is Lord, because I just said so, and thank God the Word works because I just said so.